Well, what's up again there, guys? Brian here, the Three Topics Gamer here, bringing you another episode of my weekly Q&A show, titled People's Questions, where I answer a number of questions that have been sent to me over the past week. And this time, we have definitely a much shorter episode. I only had about 3 questions. There were a number of other questions, but I thought most of them probably would have been better answered in the comment section, so that's where they were answered, so just prepare yourself. So, let's get started with the first question, coming from the Batman of Neo Gotham, and believe it or not, 2 of them are kind of similar, but just for different things. But the first one is, assuming that I've seen all the John Wick films, who the hell hasn't seen all the John Wick films? That's ridiculous if you haven't by now. How would I rank each one of them from worst to best? Okay, this is one where I wouldn't use worst. They are all phenomenal films. Absolutely. Put it like this. When it comes to John Wick films, there's never been a good John Wick film. They have been great to amazing. Good is, to say a John Wick film is good as an insult. Those movies are fantastically made in just about every department. But if I could rank them in the way that you're asking, I would just go from first to end. The first one, and the second one, and the third one's the best. These movies progressively get better as they go on, and I'm sure that's going to continue when the 4th one comes out. I'm excited for when it comes out. I think these films have been just insane. I mean, Keanu Reeves has shown that he's still got it. He's experienced a new renaissance in his career, and I couldn't be happier for him. Next question comes from Winter. Ooh, I believe this is absolutely a new one, I believe. But you go by the name of WinterGhost. Really interesting name. And you want to know, what would be my list of Mass Effect list games from worst to best? Okay. Now this one's going to be interesting because the first one is going to surprise a lot of you guys, but for a specific reason. But by default, I would have to put Mass Effect 1 as the worst one, simply because I've never actually played it. And, you know, I can't really play something that I haven't had a chance to really get to play it. So that's where I would put that one. Then I would follow that up with Andromeda. Then I think I would pick Mass Effect 3. And then I think Mass Effect 2 is the best one. So that's how I would do it. So it's 1, Andromeda, 3, then 2. I'm pretty sure that if I had played the first Mass Effect, then it would be Andromeda, 1, 3, then 2. I think that's how most people probably rank these games. And the last question of the episode comes from Will Williams, and you want to know, if I were to remake Resident Evil 7, what would I change? How would I change it? Okay, number 1, it wouldn't be a first-person shooter. It would be third-person. And it would continue where Resident Evil 6 left off. However, I think instead of having it focus on multiple characters, I think I would have it focus on Jake Muller, and I think I would just have him pretty much clean up his father's mess. I'm sure Wesker had, like, you know, contingency plans or something set to, you know, to activate after his death, and I'm sure Jake Muller would be like, well, my genetic father was a bit of a dick, so I think it's up to me to clean up his mess so that no one else has to suffer for it. So that's pretty much what I would do with it. With someone like Jake Miller, I don't really think he could really do horror because he himself is kind of superhuman. So I don't think people would like it because they would. A lot of people don't like it when they action orientated, which I don't mind because I'm a bit much bigger action fan than horror fans. It's really outside of 3 games I've never really been too scared of many games. But yeah, that's probably what I would have done with it. I just did not see Resident Evil 7 as a sequel to 6. Now, if they wanted to reboot it or have it be its own different thing, I think it would have worked better. But the fact that you're having this take place after 6, it just feels really disconnected. But I think that that's the path that they want to go on. I think that 8 is going to be very similar to 7. I don't think they'll go back to a third-person view. I think they're going to leave that to the remakes. So, whenever Capcom announces the remakes of Resident Evil 3, well, that's probably going to be the next Resident Evil game that I plan on getting. And with that, those are pretty much the main set of questions that I thought were good enough for the video. If you guys have any more questions you'd like me to answer in next week's episode, be sure to type them in the comments down below. But make sure you get them into me roughly around Wednesday, around noon. And if you want to increase your odds of having them enter the next video, just make sure they're kind of interesting questions, or otherwise I will just answer them in the comments down below. And like always, I'd like to thank you guys for watching. You're awesome, and I will see you next time.